So my Bulgarian publisher, this is a true story, calls me up and says, Brad, you are big in Bulgaria. Will you come to Bulgaria? And I'm like, that is so nice of you to say. There is no friggin' way I am going to Bulgaria. And she says to me, so she hangs up, she calls me back a month later, it's a true story, and she says, please come to Bulgaria. I'd love you to come to Bulgaria. And I say, that's so nice of you to offer. I'm not going to Bulgaria. And then she sees that I'm going to Frankfurt for a book convention, and she says to me, you know what, why don't you come, Bulgaria, it's like Jersey to Frankfurt. You just come right over. And a short plane ride, come to Bulgaria. And then I think to myself, you know, the French publisher doesn't want me to go visit them. The Spanish publisher doesn't want me to go visit them. Bulgaria is a little country that could. I'm going to Bulgaria. So I go to Bulgaria, and I land in Bulgaria. And when I get to Bulgaria, I come off, and it looks like customs here. The doors slide open, you come out, and there's like family and friends waiting for their loved ones. And as the doors open and shut behind me, a flashbulb goes off, pow. Then another one goes off, pow, pow. And then it's like Brad and Angelina have entered the room. It's like, bam, 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 bam. So much so that I go like this. And as I'm turned around, I'm thinking to myself, no way is what I think is happening actually happening. And I'm thinking, my friends are going to give me such crap at this moment. And I turn around, I'm like, this can't be real. And I turn around, and the Bulgarian press is going nuts for my arrival. And I'm like, what's wrong with Bulgaria? So I get up there, and immediately this throng of people come rushing up to me, and they say, I'm your Bulgarian publisher, and this is your translator, the translator says, and these are the Bulgarian press, and can you do an interview right here? Please, will you do an interview? And I'm like, yeah, who am I going to deny the Bulgarian people their interview? And so I sit there, and she says, first question, how does it feel to outsell John Grisham in the United States? And I say, can you translate that again? And she says, how does it feel to outsell John Grisham in the United States? And I say, very honestly, I don't outsell John Grisham. Almost no one outsells John Grisham. And the reporter laughs, and I go, what'd she say? And she said, oh, what modesty you have. So now I open the Bulgarian newspaper, and my arrival, you can't make this up. I see my picture in the Bulgarian newspaper that they were writing about me arriving that day. And I can't read the Cyrillic writing, but I can see the number 20. And I know that's not my age. So I say, what's this 20 mean? What's the 20 here? And the translator says, oh, 20 million books. That's how many books you sell every time in the United States. And I'm like, and I realize in this moment that the entire country of the Bulgarian people have been lied to. They believe that they have the greatest author in the world, and that author is me. And now the best part of it is they have in Bulgaria, they have the Slavi show. And the Slavi show, you can look it up, the Slavi show is the biggest show in Bulgaria. It's like the Tonight Show. But it is watched by 70% of Bulgarians. 70% of Americans don't brush their teeth. But 70% of Bulgaria watches the Slavi show. So I go on the Slavi show, and it's a live studio audience. It's the hugest show. 70% of Bulgaria is watching me. They're fly girls that actually welcome you when you come out are actually the Bulgarian gymnastics team who are dancing to bad 80s music played by the Bulgarian band. And I'm like, this is fantastic. I love this. So I sit down in the chair, and Slavi is this giant, enormous man who has a shaved head. I love Slavi. I'm the biggest Slavi fan. I got Slavi t-shirts at home. And Slavi sits down with me, and he throws out the entire script and all the questions I've asked him, and he says, Brad, do you want to play a game? And the translator who's sitting between us says, tells me, and I say, sure, what's the game? He says, here's the game. I can see what you're wearing. I know what you do for a living. I'm going to guess everything I can about you. You know what I do for a living. You can see what I'm wearing. You have to guess everything you know about me. He said, if you're right, I will buy you a drink, and if I'm right, you put me in your next book. Would you like to play this game? Again, who am I to deny Slavi? So Slavi looks at me, and he's this giant, as I said, bald, great man, and he looks at me and he says, Brad, you don't care about fame, you don't care about money, you know that's all nonsense. You love your wife so much, you're worried if anything ever happened to her, that you'd never be able to write again. You also are overprotective of your parents. You fight the battles you think they can't fight for themselves. And Slavy starts saying things that if I had a shrink, I wouldn't be telling my shrink. Now, he can get some things from the internet, and he can find out I love my wife, but he is capturing my life that I'm going, oh my gosh, I'm getting pantsed on Bulgarian television by Slavy. And he's done, and the audience applauds and does their thing, and now it's my turn, and I'm like, I got to bring it back for the United States of America. I'm going to bring it to Slavy. So I look at Slavy, I look at this giant mountain of a man, and I say, Slavy, you're a bully, and you've always been a bully. I can see by what you wear that you also don't have a wedding ring on. You're alone. And I can tell you're a perfectionist by the way you wear your clothes. And I know that deep down, what has given you your great success is that you are a perfectionist, that you always choose the greatest things in your life. But I also know by the fact you don't have that wedding ring, that you are terrified. When you are alone at night, you are terrified that your perfectionism, the thing that gives you all your success, is going to be what leaves you alone forever. And the Bulgarian people are silent. And I know at this moment I'm either going to die in Bulgaria or they're going to have a statue of me there. And now the translator's going back and forth and translating what I'm saying. The live studio audience is dead silent, waiting for Slavy to react. And their leader looks at me and he says, Brad, I owe you a scotch. So I just want to tell you, considering that that's how I went to Bulgaria, I'm a little disappointed with tonight's turnout. But I want to say thank you for coming. I do appreciate it.